Hi, this is Nate from Trampoline Waterpark, and as you will soon find out, you are joining a movement that is changing summers all over the country. This Trampoline Waterpark is completely redesigned and updated from the 2017 model, and as you'll see, the specialty hooks that we've designed are going to make this setup extremely easy. You'll be able to do it in 5 to 10 minutes, no problem. So let's tear into the box and get started. As you see, when you look inside, you've got the hose and all of the attachments that you need to set it up. Now when you're setting it up, you want to start with the hose nozzle portion really close to the zippered opening. And as you can tell right here as well, there are printed logos on the outside of the hose. You want those facing outside of the trampoline, and I'll show you what I mean. All right, and when you get to the end, you'll see that there's actually a little bit of overlap. That is by design. It's meant to fit large trampolines as well as small ones. Now, as always, our #1 priority is safety. And so we don't want this excess to cross this opening and become a trip hazard. The easiest solution for that is actually to set it really close to the top of this opening so that it can continue past and it doesn't create a trip hazard. And you'll see what that looks like here in a minute. The next step is to attach the clips. The easiest way to do that is to take the ball portion of the hook and push it through the back side of the hose. Now there are enough clips in this bag for every single hole, but what I'd recommend is every other hole, like this. The next step is to actually hook it to the netting. Now for demonstration purposes, I'm going to do it about chest height just so that you can see what I'm talking about really closely. But once you understand that, I'm going to move it to the proper height. So these hooks are made specifically to where you can just push them right through the net, grab a few lines, and it's hooked. Very easy. Just push it in and bring it back and it's hooked onto a couple lines. So the best way to set this up is to set these hooks at slight angles. So the first one, you're going to start left. See how it's pointing left a little bit? And as you can see, this one's pointing right. And then you're going to carry that pattern on all the way around the trampoline. So the next one will point left, and then the following will point right, and back and forth all the way around. So I've gone ahead and set it up at the proper height. Now, when you do that, please be safe. Use a ladder and a second person to hold it steady for you. I don't want anybody falling off and getting hurt. But what I also wanted to show you is the extra feet here and what to do with it. The easiest thing to do is to set it above the door here and just continue going around. So that way, no matter how big your trampoline is, even if it's small, you can just keep going around until you use all the hose. Now the final step is just hooking up the hose. Now to protect your net right here from so much weight pulling down from this main hose, what we're going to do is we're going to take the zip tie that was included in the package. You're going to hook it up to the nearest post, which is right here. And it gives you a place that you can actually route the hose through, and so it will hold all of the weight, making it very easy on your net and easy to attach. And let me show you how to do that. So you just feed it through like that, just like that. And then you attach your hose here. Now here are a couple maintenance items. Over time, you might notice that something like this happens, where it starts to look like a little bit of a larger hole. That might be alarming, but really it's not a big deal. Let me show you what's happening here. So when you take the hook off, it looks like a big old hole, like maybe it tore a hole or something, but really it just rerouted these strings. And so the easiest way to fix that is to just scratch it in all different directions. See how it disappears? And that's it. And the final maintenance tip has to do with this nozzle. Occasionally from the factory, this second portion comes a little loose. And so if you turn the water pressure on, it might pop off. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So if this was loose and it had water pressure on there, it might come apart like this. Don't be alarmed, it's actually very easy to fix. So all you do is you make sure that this coupling is on the hose like that. You slip it over, and then if you see right here how there's a gap, you just pinch it together to suck up some of that gap, and then you line it up right in that channel there. So once it goes in, you shove it in as far as you can, and then you re-thread it. And when you finish threading it, just make sure you crank on it real good. Make sure it's real good and tight. You also want to make sure that your pressure regulator is cranked on good and tight. This is an important piece. It actually reduces the amount of pressure that gets to your hose, and in case you have really high water pressure at your house, this will reduce or eliminate the chance of your hose breaking. So make sure that that's good and tight so it doesn't leak, and you are good to go. And there you go. You successfully set up your water park. So thank you so much for coming along with me on this journey. And if for any reason you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to us on Amazon. Just shoot us an email. But that's it. You're good to go. What are you still sitting there for? Go grab your swim gear and get on the trampoline. Have a good summer.